Hi, this is my first video review. So I thought, being a big DC guy, I'll probably review mainly DC trade paperbacks or hardcovers or graphic novels or whatever you want to call them. So, but I will do Marvel stuff. In Marvel, I mainly like Caps. Trying to get into Daredevil mainly because of Mark Waid's run. But I thought I would review this baby over here, JSA: The Golden Age, written by James Robinson and art by Paul Smith. Now, those of you who know James Robinson, he is known for writing the Golden Age characters really well. I mean, like, Golden Age is like World War II-ish and slightly after that. So, I mean, like, characters like Jay Garrick, the original Flash, Green Lantern, the original one, Alan Scott, Wildcat, original Black Canary, Johnny Quick and all those guys. Now, this is an Elseworld story, and the thing I like about this story, let me show you some of the art first of Paul Smith. I love this ending page because it's all their successors, by the way. You got the successor to Alan Scott there, Hal Jordan, the successor to Jay Garrick there, the Flash. I mean, but the art overall, I love Paul Smith's work. I mean, like, another random page. I mean, like, is this So, it's really, really, really good stuff, the art. I mean, like, this is one of my favourite pages. Hold on, let me get it for you. The art's like, this art, I just love it. Like Our Man having a trip, basically. The art is pretty epic. Now, let's get to the meat and gist of it. Now, the art's epic, but did James Robinson did a good job in writing the story? Now, I actually thought this book was really, really, really good, and the art's brilliant, as I said, and James Robinson's writing is brilliant. It's almost epic. It's almost as good as something like, Watchmen, almost as good as something like Watchmen or Dark Knight Returns or Kingdom Come or All-Star Superman. Those four to me are the great books of DC and comic book overall. But I felt it was lacking something. It's almost there to me, but it's not there. So the story, it's after World War II. The superheroes have retired or given up, and basically have this one superhero, Mr. Americano or something. He decides to come out. Well, he comes back as a World War II hero. Remember, it's set just after World War II. Becomes a senator, and while all the other superheroes have kind of retired and going through their own stuff, so apart from Tex, he becomes a senator, and he's like, you know what? The Russians one day might make a Superman. The Germans had one, but we defeated them and killed them. But we should invest in our own superheroes. So what happens is the American government, start making their own superheroes, while the old superheroes are going through like a very Watchmen-esque, more human than super period. Like, for example, Our Man's whole gimmick is he takes a pill and he becomes super strong for an hour. Okay, so his gimmick is obvious. Is he an addict? And he's just trying to find the formula out. He got right to become the original Our Man, and he comes to realize, wait, I'm an addict. Starman's a really tragic story. He's a scientist who worked with Einstein on the nukes, and when the nukes dropped, he ends up in a mental asylum. Johnny Quick's trying to make a movie documentary about superheroes. So you have this down to earth realism to it, and it's not. The thing is, I'm a big fan of realism's comic books when it's done right, and it's not done right most of the time. But I liked it. I like the fact that that Starman is going through a breakdown because of what happened in Hiroshima, because he helped build the nukes, and Our Man's an addict. And someone else forgot their memory. Who was it? Paul Kirk. I forgot who he was. But yeah, I mean, like, someone had a memory loss, and I thought like this whole comic was epic. Not Jay Garrett. Alan Scott is now a big media owner, and the House of Un-American Activities is after him. But the story is a mixture of the government having their own superheroes promoted by this senator who's kind of this McCarthyite figure, and also the House of Un-American activities coming after people like Alan Scott and all those because of who they are. Like, because Alan Scott owns the media and he wants to owns part of the media and he wants to stick with the people who he works for. So what I want to say is this is really good, but the one thing I didn't like about it, because when I think of Golden Age, and I love this book, I think it's almost there. I think it's almost there. When I think of Golden Age, I think of Alan Scott, Jay Garrick. There was not enough Jay Garrick in it, and that's what annoys me. Like, to me, Jay Garrick is like the two people I like the two, sorry, whatever, but the two people I like in the Golden Age part in JSA are Alan Scott, the original Green Lantern, and Jay Garrick, you know. Also like Wildcat, you know. But those are the two people I like. There wasn't enough Alan Scott. He comes in the end, he's here and there, but I wish there was more Alan Scott. And Jay Garrick, there was barely any Jay Garrick in, you know. Which is quite sad, because that's what happened. There's a bit of Hawkman in as well, and Hawkman, another Carter Hall, another classic. Like, it's almost, to me, it like Johnny Quick. There's a lot of Johnny Quick in it, and to me, it's a brilliant story, but it hasn't. It's almost taken, to me personally, who are the B grade characters of the Golden Age, the JSA people. Like, if someone was asking who are the best characters of the JSA, you know, of the Golden Age, you know, apart from Superman and Wonder Woman and Batman, because they all got retconned in later, whatever, I'd say Alan Scott, Jay Garrick, you know, original Flash, original Green Lantern, maybe Wildcat number 3, you know. But those three, or you know, to me, are cool. You know, I can understand Wildcat because he's just a fighter and you can't put him in. But I wish there was more of Jay Garrick in. You know, I wish there was more, because it's almost as if he's picked the B grade characters to me, like Johnny Quick and Starman and Hourman. You know, and yes, it's a good story, and I care about these characters. But when I buy a JSA comic, I want to see Jay Garrick run fast. I want to see Alan Scott, more of Alan Scott. I want to see Wildcat getting a fight and punch people, you know. And this is a very good comic, but I just wish there was more. I don't think there's Wildcat in it at all, and I think original Black Canary just makes a 1 second cameo in it, you know. 1 second, not cameo, but 1 panel cameo. You know, and I think Hawkman's in it, Carter Hall, Hawkman's in it for a little, you know, like. But I mean, like, but saying that, you know, okay, so there might be no Wildcat or Hawkman, Carter, or original Black Canary, or Jay Garrick, Alan Scott. Saying that, right, this is actually really, really good, you know. Almost epic, I'd say. I loved this. I love this. So check it out when you can, because this, I think, is really, really cool. Check it out when you have the time. You know, it might not have the classic A-grade characters of the Golden Age in it. Well, Alan Scott does play kind of a big part, but not as much as I want. I mean, like, too much Johnny Quick, but might not have as much as Alan Scott as I wanted, or someone else wanted, or not enough Jay Garrick, or Wildcat, or original Black Canary, or Hawkman, but still very good. Definitely check it out. JSA, The Golden Age. Very good book. See you, and I hope you enjoyed this review.